All of a sudden, they start hearing Pabber.
Feeling very sick all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, she's a problem.
All of a sudden, I'm his enemy and you're his friend.
And then all of a sudden it wasn't.
All of a sudden, this doesn't
What's the
look like
big interest in the pet store all of a sudden?
And then all of a sudden he just stopped.
I've gone all crap all of a sudden.
Pearl, including one way the hell out at Pearl. All of a sudden, they start hearing Pavarotti coming out their asses. Joan.
The ladies are coming by this afternoon for tea.
Oh, feeling very sick all of a sudden.
Mind yourself, Shannon. Those ladies are models.
I don't know what to do. All of a sudden, she's a problem.
She'll outgrow it, dear. It's just...
All of a sudden, I'm his enemy and you're his friend.
Life was easy. And then all of a sudden it wasn't. No more games to win.
Here we are, pal. All of a sudden, this doesn't look like the brightest idea you ever had.
I never thought you were sorry about anything.
What's the big interest in the pet store all of a sudden?
They've been hanging around here.
Winding down like an old clock. And then all of a sudden he just stopped. He had this kind of...
I've gone all crap all of a sudden. Right.
You're a dumbass. That night of the crash, you started getting all weird.
What are you talking
about? Like Mr. Attitude all of a sudden.
Your movie was over, that's what you said. You were upset.
Days and weeks and years. Till all of a sudden, there's only 30 seconds to go.
Wonderful guy. Never had trouble dealing with nothing. Now all of a sudden he's like falling apart. He cries for no reason. He can't sleep.
Big smiling face. All of a sudden, out of all these smiling faces, there was this one face. I couldn't understand why I kept looking at this one face, and then I
That sure was a pretty thing that just walked out of here. I see how come we done become so interested around here in Africa all of a sudden. Missionaries, Ma, Jenny.
Oh, Mama.
That crowd there. All of a sudden, the crowd just parted. Like the Red Sea.
I minded before, but there it was all of a sudden. He was staring right at me through one of the station doors.
There what was?
The dome, the Capitol dome.
Sit down.
You heard what he said.
Yeah, right. All of a sudden, with a gun on him, he wants to make up and be friends. What happens when he walks out the door?
What happens then, Jerry?
You ever see the sun come up over the Rockies? It hits all of a sudden, and below there's California. And you swear you're looking at heaven.
Dude, listen to me. I don't have much time. You were in the car. It was spinning. And all of a sudden you were back at home and it was 2 weeks ago. And you were
and marry her or something like that.
I don't know. Why are you so interested all of a sudden?
I was wondering about family.
Then what happened?
Then, all of a sudden, the Russians begin to move.
No?
Yes, you're in a desert walking along the sand when all of a sudden you look down. What?
What desert?
Doesn't make any difference.
Take the baby and get out of here. Everybody, all the son's on authority about this. She's telling me, where'd she find out he's good looking, first of all?
China
No
dog.
bush?
No bush. I know.
my God.
All of a sudden, 1 week, nobody had anything down there anymore.
It's a new world.
They're bald from the eyebrows down.
Attention headache by you is psychosomatic. All of a sudden you've become a psychiatrist?
Oh, stop complaining, Sam. It's Alvin's parents.
Quite have the zip and zing of yesteryear, did it?
Where are all the liberals all of a sudden?
Not their lawyers or psychiatrists.
I don't like
The only one worthwhile.
Look, I'm getting out of here. You got a little too much religion for me all of a sudden.
Them sell cars with this big bar. And they just take off. All of a sudden, boat starts to tip. Gets real quiet as we watch this thing. Just
fantastic.
C'est quoi là, tout à coup, t'es rendu bilingue, toi?
You better fucking believe that the mole can do the same thing, and now all of a sudden the Russians know we can't make it to the moon? Then what the fuck are we gonna do? Okay.
You're sitting there, you don't know what's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden something happens inside you, right? You don't know what it is, but it's all right.
6, 7 months I'm out of work. And all of a sudden, what? You hit me. And talking back.
All right.
Talking about...
It made me look at my life in a different way. Well, just all of a sudden, I could see that my life in here isn't empty and pointless like I thought it was.
Okay, look, let me ask you a question. You wake up one day and all of a sudden you have the power to cure all diseases, stop hunger.
With you, it's like all of a sudden we're just there. Already friends, already knew each other, you know?
Oh, you know what? I'm real sorry about that, man, but I had to be somewhere all of a sudden. I figured, oh, shit, Louis ain't had no pussy for a while, so I thought...
Pain, but all of a sudden the soccer field seemed like Maracana Stadium and my ugly mug didn't seem so bad.
Places and wondering if you ever will. And all of a sudden, you're a cat. And you start to climb. And you...
Driving, and all of a sudden she fainted.
Never mind. They had put her down.
What, do you hear me or what? What, are you blind and deaf all of a sudden? Huh?
Motherfucker.
Can't make it. You can leave the gig the way you did today whenever you want, but you just can't leave all of a sudden. You just cannot leave now. Okay?
No.
No, yeah.
Okay, what's funny, Fred? I haven't written a fucking word yet, and all of a sudden, I'm a famous writer at the White House.
What's the matter, sugar?
I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm thirsty.
How did you get that bracelet?
Shooting. I do a lot of work at night. So anyway, I'm standing out there, and all of a sudden, I hear this car barreling down a road, you know, and I didn't pay too much attention until all of a sudden I hear it starting to...
Guys, all right? Today you were just fine. Now all of a sudden you're like two old dogs being dragged down to the back of the house, lie down and die.
This darkness. And all of a sudden, thousands of robins were set free. What to do?
I had no intention of falling for a married woman, but somewhere having lunch, and I'm on this accountant who's waking up every morning excited to go to work.
You like living here, Joe? You like living with all the dead people down here?
Hey, what's wrong with the people down here all of a sudden?
What's wrong is I'm tired of working so many extra shifts.
I don't see what difference it makes.
Don't talk fresh to your mother. What's the matter with the bathroom all of a sudden?
Amy's in there. She's always in there.
Well, get her out. It's nearly time.
You said yourself Peasy was a Mamaluke and he couldn't be trusted. Now all of a sudden you got a soft spot for this guy.
I just don't think it was him.
Okay, I'll put it.
Yeah? Why?
Because you'll just be sitting around like this, and all of a sudden that gong goes off. You go tearing out of the firehouse, go down the street.
And right away the door opened up and this hitchhiker got in. And he was sitting there next to me. And all of a sudden he said, "Thank you kindly, sir, for picking me up."
I'm ahead like $600-700. I'm really winning. All of a sudden, some kid walks in, and the kid yells that the bulls are coming, right? Yells the cops are coming. Everybody runs away. I grab all the money. I go in.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. I just want you to know why the Rojos want to make peace all of a sudden. You see, there was once a wagon load of...
You're being very disrespectful. You know, a man turns 60, all of a sudden he's washed up, and you kick him out the workplace. Now, that may have been fine 100 years ago when men were dying at the...
Tell him there's no place for him in the big leagues. And all of a sudden I realized you were gone. I couldn't find you. I was panicking.
Who was that character downstairs?
Oh, I'll tell you about it later.
Oh.
Got so sunny all of a sudden.
Well,
We're tremendous fans of yours. We wish you'd still...
Be lucky as he sits in prison for the rest of his life. Let's not act like it's Joseph Spell you're concerned for all of a sudden. What is that supposed to mean? The moment you got him...
Court, just give it to Ronan so he can destroy the galaxy? What are you, some saint all of a sudden? What has the galaxy ever done for you? Why would you want to see...
Teaching anymore, and I don't know what I want to do. When all of a sudden, a huge creature appeared, looking at the congregation. It was about, I'd say, 6 feet.
What do you need me for all of a sudden?
West Africa's fucked up. More than you.
Game is live.
And then, all of a sudden...
I'm right side up.
Wait a second, you're confusing me. I don't know if this time...